Welcome back to another episode of the Bamboo Season Podcast. I'm your host, sober wellness coach Dorian Wormsley. The podcast where you'll find and hear stories of transformation, growth, and resilience. Stories from people who've been rock bottom, built themselves up, transformed themselves, and are thriving. This podcast is also sponsored by Dorian Wormsley Wellness, a coaching program to help you build a strong body and clear mind through sobriety and fitness. Now, my guest today has been a fitness coach for over 10 years. He's also a licensed massage and stretch therapist for over 3 years. He's also has some of the most funny, interesting, fire-ass TikTok fitness reels. You've probably seen them. I ain't from the South, but I'm here with my Memphis twin. I bring you all the way from Memphis, my man Greg Savage. Bro,
What up? Pleasure
I was thinking about saying that the whole time when I first told you you told me from Memphis.
Yeah.
I listened to the song and he said that. And, oh yeah, I'm saying
that's how I'm gonna open it up. That's what's up.
How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm doing pretty good.
Definitely appreciate you making time here. As
sure.
somebody who works for themselves, I know shit gets busy.
Yeah.
You got clients
all over the place.
You got plants, life, and
real-time dad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have a daughter?
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 5.
Okay, shout out to the dad.
Yeah,
I forgot about that girl dad.
Life. Mm-hmm.
Wow, she live here in Vegas?
She's actually in Memphis, Tennessee.
In Memphis? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
She into fitness at all yet or anything?
Oh, she was already into fitness maybe like before she could even use her limbs all the way. You know, like so she's doing gymnastics every week and yeah, she's all the way into it.
That's like amazing. That. I think it's so great when parents are showing their kids the wellness side of things.
Yeah.
You know, it's obviously great to teach them manners, teach them skills, but like when you show them the fitness side, that's like you said, 5 years old, she's already doing it. By the time she gets grown, it's going to be
already in her. It's
second
already
nature.
in her.
Yeah. And it's very important for that. And how is it hard for you knowing her being almost across the country at times?
Sometimes like it's bittersweet, simply because I would prefer to be a little bit more present as far as like just everyday type of, things. But it works out simply because when I do have her, I make the most of the time. I make an impact on her and she loves her time here. But then, I say it's sweet as well because, obviously I have all my time here and I can like kind of just do what I need to do, go hard, just use my time as much as I like to with whatever I'm doing. So,
okay, that's good. Yeah. And then how's the co-parenting? Is it easy? Is it struggles?
Oh, it's super smooth. We're hella
good.
cordial. We're both on the same page with everything. So nothing's out of whack or nothing's toxic or nothing like that. Yeah.
Good for you, man. I think it's so important for people to have their fathers in their lives.
100%.
Like growing up somebody who didn't, I understand. I mean, obviously I've.
Same here.
Yeah. So so you understand, but it's great that, or lucky, whatever you want to call it, that I was able to become aware and understand, like, I don't want to go down the path of what the stereotype is of somebody who doesn't have a dad.
100%.
And you're able to build a life of like, all right, I'll make sure I don't have kids yet, but like give them what I didn't have with the father. So it's great to see you in her life, even though she's across, the country, but still
making an impact.
Teaching her fitness and from the way you're speaking about it now, it's like you would love to, if they could, move here.
Absolutely.
Like,
and I'm still like present, just not physically. You know what I mean? Like we talk on the phone every day and everything like that. So that was one of my main driving factors when I was younger. Like it's funny, like even as a kid, I was thinking about the fact that like when I get older, I'm going to be, I'm going to be a good dad because like mine's not around. So I'll be damned if I have my children and then I'm not around like my dad was, you know what I'm saying?
So you grew up single mother, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
In Memphis. And how was that experience? Like, was your dad ever around or you ever meet him or?
So yeah, I did. I hung out with him maybe like a handful of times and, those times I was around him was not very impactful. Like I think the most impact he probably made was like making me do some workouts or something like that. Yeah. But other than that, I don't remember much about him as far as like details about him other than his name, his looks, but like his life and everything, didn't know much about him. So it was kind of like after a while, like once I started to grow up, it became a little bit more of me just realizing like he is dealing with his own shit and whatever his reasons are, then those are his reasons. I'm not gonna try to force anything, but it was never like the effort of like, I want to build this relationship with you, and I want to see where things go. Like he would always try to introduce me to random ass like family members and shit. Like I'm like, sir, I don't have any interest in that,
Probably trying to make himself look good. Like, this is him right here, your little cousin. Yeah, right here.
I'm like, all right, man. Anyway.
Oh wow. And then for you, well, I'll give you an example for myself at least. Once I got to a certain point in life, I think I was maybe high schoolish, and I made the decision. I was like almost using not having a father around as my motivation and driving force. But it was almost a petty way. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make sure I do good in life and something like that to where he hears my name.
Oh, yeah.
But knows he has no parts of it in a sense.
You didn't do nothing about that.
Almost out of spite.
It's actually the reason why I changed my name to Savage.
Oh, so what the fuck? That's not your real last name?
No, it's not.
Oh.
I'm a junior. So
me too. Oh. My middle name is different. My mom didn't like his middle name, but I'm technically almost a sense junior, same first and last name.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So I branded the name Savage maybe like 4 years ago, maybe around COVID time.
Okay.
Because I just had this thought. I'm like, why do I have this man's last name? And I don't know anything about him. Like, I'm just carrying his legacy, and I don't even know like who he was or what his life was about. So I was like, for my children and my life, I'm gonna have a name where they can be proud of, that I can be proud of, and then just build it from there. So Thought of Savage, I think I translate that pretty well in as far as like what I do, fitness wise, content wise, and everything like that. So I was like, fuck it.
It does flow for sure. It fits your personality and everything for sure. Great Savage. Damn, okay.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's a big step. And at this point in your life, do you feel any type of like you want to build a relationship, you want to have any type of contact with him, or you're kind of just like, you know what?
I actually reached out to him maybe like a few months ago because I just wanted to like get some clarity on some things. Like I got kind of like swallowed the whole like resentment thing, and I just wanted to have some answers, but I never got a response back from him. So at this point, I'm like, if I hear from him, cool. If I don't, whatever. I'm not gonna press myself about it. It'll just be kind of like I said, questions answered. If he does respond, but other than that, I'm not like going out of the way to,
Do you think with your life, throughout your life, up until this point where it seems like you kind of, healed that part, do you think him not being around trickled into your life growing up?
Trickled into my life, like in what ways though?
Acting out, getting in trouble, relationship issues.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like I think that if I had a figure in my life that was consistent as far as like a disciplinarian, I would have taken different steps in certain avenues of my life, would have made different decisions, probably wouldn't have been so like loose with, women and stuff like that. Like just had a better idea of what it meant to be a man, what it was supposed to mean to be a man.
Yeah.
And not just figure it out along the way. Because, a mom will do what she can. Like she raised me to be well-mannered, a gentleman, things like that. But when it comes to like preparing you to be a man, you really need a man to teach you those things. And I just had to like kind of learn on the way, throughout my life. So, but yeah, it definitely trickled in my life. Like with, in school, like if I would get in trouble with a teacher, like if my mom would like ask what was going on and stuff like that, like I would just, sometimes I wouldn't even answer her. Like I would just kind of just shut off or, in different ways it definitely did, I would say. Yeah.
That's great. I relate to you in a lot of those ways because I was the same way. Like when it comes to not having a father, it was that aspect too, just certain things like mistakes or choice I probably made differently, but also when it came to the woman side of things, crazy word, he said loose, but that's pretty much what it was. Growing up, to me, it was like, you get girls, and that's like, to me, that was a sign of validation. Yeah. Like, I'm important. I mean something. I get girls. I X, Y, and Z. And I'm not saying I regret it, but there's like certain instances where I'm like, damn, I could have treated that person better at 1000%. Whatever point in life. Yeah. But I feel like you go through your life how you're supposed to.
You do the best with what you got. Literally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as long as when you get to a certain point in age, you realize where you fucked up and you're willing to change.
You got to take those
lessons.
What
I mean? Change and move forward. Like now moving forward, I definitely think I'm better with women and just people in general because I decided to take ownership. Like, what I did was fucked up back then. I don't want that shit no more because I'm going to end up just how
you've grown.
That guy was.
Yeah.
You've grown, exactly. One of my favorite speakers, Eric Thomas, he said that because, he had daddy issues too. And he says, you can't pretty much like you can't keep using that same excuse forever. You a grown ass man now. You 18 years old.
After a certain point, it's just you making choices. It's not mistakes. It's just you making a decision.
Damn. Okay, it's good to know a little more than you outside of the the fitness side. That's why I wanted you on it, because I know people see on social media.
Yeah.
The reels are funny, all this and that, but I don't know if you ever really told upbringing story and them to get more.
Just once on a different podcast, like last year sometime. But that was kind of like, it was more literally just focused on fitness. But as far as just getting online and just talking about myself and stuff like that, I would say like, I had a conversation with the owner of the gym I work at now. He was saying like, you need to get online more and just like, talk to the people more, because, you have a lot of people who like you because of your content, and they'll relate to you more if you, talk about a little bit more personal things. And I've always just been like, as far as my private life, I've just kind of kept that away from social media. I show my daughter every now and then, but as far as, like you said, my upbringing or things about my personal life, I just, unless I'm asked a question or something like that, then I won't go too deep into that. I just kind of like keep it low key. So
and I respect that, because I mean, to a certain point, I try to be private too, but kind of what the owner said, Chris, right?
Yeah, Chris.
Shout out to Chris, Savage Fitness, shout them out. I tell people this all the time who are looking to start building content, or, well, you don't need no fucking help. You're just blowing up. But anybody who's trying to get into it, it's cool to show people, the workouts, the this and that. But it's like, there's thousands, if not millions of people doing the same thing, right? But it's like, if somebody can hear you and hear your story and something like that, and they're like, oh shit, you never dad either. Like just by somebody hearing that, or you just hearing how well you are with your daughter, you just probably gain X amount of clients, followers, because they're like, oh, this dude's a girl dad? Hell yeah, I gotta follow him.
Connect with you more.
And it's so important. And I get it's not for you, but for some people, it can get very to get on camera and say that personal shit. It takes time. It takes it's you levels to
swallow your ego a little bit. It's got to be healing and stuff like that.
100%.
Yeah, and I'm at a point where like now I can have a conversation about it. It doesn't bother me, because I understand the facets of just my life, and I'm not like ashamed of it. I'm not afraid of it. I pretty much understand it, and willing to talk about it with whoever if it helps them, if it helps myself even. So
and that's amazing. And so you moved to Vegas, I think you said 7 years ago?
Yeah.
7 years ago from Memphis.
7,
and you've been a fitness coach overall 10 years. What kind of got you into that, and how'd that get you to where you are now? Like, what's got you into fitness?
So what got me into fitness, it's kind of funny.
A girl.
No, actually. I was seeing these infomercials on TV about like these workout DVDs and stuff like that, specifically Insanity with Shaun T. And at the time I was working at Costco, and I would see it pop up, and I was like, man, that's whatever. I would just ignore it. But I would also be interested, because I was actually watched the whole commercial and shit. But then I remember walking into work one day, and I literally felt my side jiggle. And I was like, oh no. It was just that little thing that I felt that I didn't like, that I was like, oh, I got to do something about that. And I would imagine, like, for most people, it starts pretty superficial in that regard. Like, oh, I don't like the way that looks on me, and blah, blah, blah. So I went home like that night, and I called it up, or, ordered the DVD. And then once it came, I got started. I tried it. And then like the first couple times of me trying to do, like, I think it was like the fit test, the first couple workouts.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, this ain't for me. And later on, some months later, I came back to it. I tried it again. And then I actually stuck with it that time. And I had a really huge transformation from those 2 months of the program. I was following the meal plan it had. I was doing all the workouts and everything. Like, I was consistent, dedicated, disciplined. And once I had that transformation, my family, specifically my cousins, they saw the transformation. They was like, well, we want to do it too.
Yeah.
And so I was like, cool. So I was real close to my cousins. They was like, brothers and sisters to me. So I was like, all right, bet. So one summer I went over there and I spent the night for about 2 months, and I would wake up every morning, wake them up, be like, oh, yo, it's time. Let's get it. And we would all go in the den, and I'd do the workout with them. So I did another 2 months with them, and they had a big transformation. And it was then where I was like, I think I really like this, because just their reaction from seeing their progress and how their bodies changed really like motivated me and made me feel content.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think this is what I want to do. And I was actually going to University of Memphis at the time to study veterinary medicine. And I was just doing it because a lot of people in my life was like, yo, you like all these animals, you should definitely pursue veterinary medicine, be a veterinarian. So I was like, all right, cool. But it wasn't what I actually wanted to do.
Mm.
And so once I had that experience with my cousins and stuff, that's when I decided to drop out. And then I studied for personal training, and the rest is history. I decided
Damn.
to do it, yeah.
What was Sean T?
Sean T, yeah, he was crazy as hell, man.
Have you seen him now?
Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to a fitness conference here 2 years ago. What are we in, 2025? 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2022. I don't know. It was here. It was the IDA Fit. It's like they do it every year, and it was here. And I went just to learn new stuff, get my CEU credits and all that. And also, Bobby Blanks was there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Tabo.
Yeah. So in my head, I was like, when I saw him on the thing, I'm, I gotta go. I gotta take his class.
Yeah.
Billy Blanks,
a legend.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I gotta go. So I went. I signed up too late. I couldn't get into his actual class. But I sat there and heard he ended up getting an award from you know who Jack LaLanne is?
No, who's that?
I don't know how to explain him. He's just like one of the first ever fitness people back in the.
Is he white or black?
White dude.
Was he the one with the headband? No, that's a different.
I don't know what, but he was like the first one with the juicer. I'm talking about. This got to be. Do you know Quan? Like 40s, 50s, like way back. He was one of the first guys with fitness.
Okay.
Would swim out all the way to the buoy and back. Just a legend in the fitness space test. But his wife was there, and she was kicking and moving. She in her 90s, and I was like, damn. But anyways, they gave him the award, and just hearing his story, I never knew. He was telling the story of how it was because he is much older. So when he was growing up, a lot of racism, and he was living, I think, in the Midwest, and he was saying how like all the white people weren't trying to buy his videotapes. Like, who's this black dude? We're not following this guy, you know?
Yeah.
But he never stopped, and then moved to LA, started recording the Tybo. He made it up himself, and obviously he blew up, and he sold, I forgot how many millions of tapes he sold, and I'm like, damn. So it's cool to see him. But that brings me back to Sean T.
Yeah.
Because when I was there, I was talking to other fitness people, and I'm like, man, when I finish this or when I'm doing this, I want my legacy to be similar to his. Because that was however many years ago. When I was in high school, I saw Sean T. Like, I graduated 2009, so I'm like 15 years out, and he's still
doing it.
And I'm like, man, that's the type of fitness legacy I want, to where it's just you still doing the damn thing.
Yep.
What I also like about him is that he's transformed from the group twerking, whatever he does, to now he's like a fucking bodybuilder. He's a bodybuilder in his 40s, looking crazy.
He's massive.
So then you did 10 years, or so you've been doing 10 years, so you moved to Vegas. At what point did you do CrossFit also, correct?
Correct, yeah.
And with your training, when you became a trainer, did you start doing CrossFit style, or did you do your own thing? Did you get into CrossFit later?
So before I moved to Vegas, I was maybe about a year and a half into CrossFit, and beforehand, I had tried powerlifting before I got into CrossFit. But before that, like shortly after I transitioned from doing Sean T's workouts and stuff like that, I moved into the gym and just started doing. I was like in my house for like a year doing all his workout DVDs, and then I finally transitioned to the gym. But when I got into the gym, you know, I didn't have like him to tell me what to do. So I was just like doing whatever the fuck. I was one of those guys, you walk in the gym and be like, oh, that guy's here. You know, like I'm doing deadlifts on a ball, and, you know, I'm doing the craziest shit because I just wanted to challenge myself.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have any direction with what I was doing. So I was doing that for a while, powerlifting, and found CrossFit. And so in between the Sean T transition to the gym is when I was becoming a personal trainer. And then I found CrossFit, and I just pretty much brought that here and been consistent with that ever since. So it fulfilled that void I had with wanting to challenge myself, because it has so many different facets and modalities that you have to constantly get good at. So I was like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do, you know.
And what brought you to Vegas from Memphis?
So originally my partner at the time, she was trying to get away from her ex, and then also wanted to come out here to be a nail tech.
Okay.
And Memphis was all I knew. And I was like, well, you know, she told me like from the jump, like, all right, well, in 2 years I'm moving to Vegas. And I was like, all right, I didn't think nothing of it. But, you know, once the time came around, she was like, all right, well, you ready? And I was like, I guess, like I don't have what I'm doing here. I can pretty much take wherever. So I was
Yeah.
like, whatever, it'll be a leap of faith, but I think it'll be good. And it ended up being like one of the best decisions I could have made. I'm glad I went through with it because doors started opening and like it's just been up ever since. I've
Yeah,
been
you
out
did
here.
Ninja Warrior, correct?
I literally just was thinking that. I was
Yeah.
about to bring that up. Yeah, I did that like the next year, 2019. And I was like trying to get into it before I had moved to Vegas. And I had got accepted like as I had moved after I had moved here and did that. That was pretty cool. Only made it through about 2 obstacles. It's like you have to really train for that, just like anything else, in order to be fully prepared for it. But it was a really cool experience. Like I'd do it again.
Yeah. Are you going to?
I wouldn't like. I think. Like I said, like I would just have to really train for it, like to really make sure that I like do good in it, because I was just like, cool, I got accepted, like let's do it, but I wasn't exactly taking it seriously, I was just like, it's just cool that I got accepted,
And so you're doing the fitness, and then you started implementing massage and stretch.
Yeah.
What made you want to make a turn or add that to your craft?
So it was maybe a year after I moved here where I had already kind of had that in my idea, my plans before I moved here, because when I was doing Shanti's workout programs, I had bought like a yoga DVD off Amazon because I wanted to make sure that I stayed like flexible and whatever. So I would do that like 3 to 5 times a week. And that made an impact. So once I started to do personal training, I was like, well, this is what worked for me. Let me see how I can like try to incorporate this into like my clients and help them out with that. So I kind of played around with it around 2019, and I stretched a couple clients, and it was just stretches that I knew from like what I had learned from the DVD or what I had like tried on myself or whatever. And, they really liked it. So at the time I wasn't really serious, but I knew that it was going to be like a facet of my services and what I was going to offer people. And it wasn't until like a few years later where I was like, all right, I think I had came to a point where personal training was starting to become a little mundane for me. So I was like, I need something new, something like to like feel fresh and things like that. So that's when I started to get a little bit deeper into. I specifically started to look into Thai yoga and Thai massage and like assisted partner stretches and stuff, because I wanted what I was going to do to be different and look different. And so I was like, what does it look like? What does it sound like for me to help my clients stretch in a way that's not just like, I guess, a sports stretching and stuff like that. Something that's a little bit deeper or looks better, than that. And I ended up finding like Thai massage, and there was this guy on YouTube named Sebastian Bruno, and he's been all over the world teaching it and stuff like that. He was just very fluid and smooth, and I was like, oh yeah, this is who I'm gonna, try to mimic. And so for a while, I was just looking up all his YouTube videos, just trying to practice and emulate what he was doing. And then once I started to get traction from that, I was like, okay, it's time for me to like make this legit. And I went through the process to go to school, to massage therapy school. I went to European Massage Therapy School. Shout out to them. It was one of the best in Nevada. And I did that it was a 9-month course, and the rest was history. So I just kind of like made it a official business on the side. So, and I also knew that it would be a easy transition for my clients, kind of be like a one-stop shop. If they had a problem, aches, pains and stuff like that, I'll be able to help them with it, So yeah,
that's good, because I mean, I don't offer that, but I understand what you said, one-stop shop, because they're already working out with you, that their body, they know you.
Yeah.
If you're like, go see so-and-so.
Yeah.
Now they got to try to explain what they're really feeling.
You already know their body.
Exactly.
You already know what's wrong.
Yeah, that's fire. And as of now with your business, would you say a majority of it is still fitness, a mix, or more so stretching?
It's more so 50-50 now.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's a good balance, because my schedule is more so like from the morning to afternoon, mid-afternoon, I'm doing personal training clients. I might have like a stretch client in the middle somewhere if like a client wants to stretch right after a session, if it works out. And then the last half of my day, like mid-afternoon to late evening, is when I'm doing like stretches and massages. And it's a good balance, because with personal training, I'm using my brain a lot. I'm having to socialize a lot and things like that. And then with stretching and massage, there's not a lot of talking. There's not a lot of like interacting. It's more so just like
meditating.
Literally. Like it's very zen, and I already know what to do. It's kind of like muscle memory. I'm just like flowing with everything, and it's smooth. Yeah.
I like that you said, you pretty much mentioned like with personal training, it's a lot of energy, talking, this and that. Because sometimes I feel like people don't understand. They think we just stand there, lift weights, whatever.
Yeah.
It could be you probably just work 3 hours, 4 hours, and they think, well, we can do. I'm like, you don't understand. Like, it takes more into it to make sure you're motivated to talk about what you got going on and as energetically it takes from you.
It does.
And I didn't realize that until when I first started, didn't have much clients, and I was at the gym for 12 hours. Like I would go out, even if I didn't have clients.
Been there. Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be at the gym at 6. I had like a 6 a.m. client, maybe a 7, then a gap for like 3 hours. But I was like, if I go home, well, I didn't have a car. So in my head, I was like, I'm not gonna Uber home and back. I'm gonna just stay at the gym.
Just stay here.
I'd pack a big ass bag. I would have gym clothes, 3 meals.
Yeah.
And I would just sit there. And then I would walk on the treadmill. And you've been a self-made, it's a big gym. And I was walking on the treadmill and I was still new to personal training. So I would just sit there and watch the gym. And I would see what trainers were doing, maybe something I would want to take, something I'm like, okay, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And just notice things of how I can improve myself.
Yeah.
And literally 12 hours every fucking day. When I think back on it, I'm like, bruh, that's why, yeah. And that's why now, when I see people who get into fitness or newer or anything, some of the new people don't want to grind. They don't want to do work like that.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot easier now because you got like all these online or apps, things that you can use to kind of like take shortcuts.
Yeah.
But we didn't have all that. We just had to
fitness
grind, man.
It's crazy because I mean, I feel bad for the people who get discouraged in the beginning because they think everybody's doing it. Like I like working out, I look good and this and that. And it's like, bro, it takes way more than that. And like I said, 12 hours a day, maybe a year for that before I finally got a flow to where I was like comfortable enough to even say, because before when I first started, I was uncomfortable and worried to say no to somebody because I'm like, I'm just starting. If I don't say yes, I need all the money. After a while, I was like, nope, my hour's only 7 to 11. That's it.
Same shit.
That's
bro.
it. 7 to 11.
Same
If
shit, bro.
somebody can't fit, sorry. There's another train at the gym, or maybe you got to wake up earlier.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you start fizzling out people you probably don't even need to be training. And you find your core of people, which I have now, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
For you with your training and stretching, because from what I've seen, you train majority women, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think you do, or what are things that work for you to help women feel comfortable with the training and even the stretching?
Yeah. I would say it's more so about the person that I give them as far as comfortability, because they have to, I've had people like come to me and say that they want to get training simply because they think I'm funny. Like they saw my online stuff and they didn't even see any results or anything like that. Like my clients, they're just like, I like your personality, so let's train.
Yeah.
So I think a big part of like majority, if you have a women-based clientele, is that you have to be a likable person and you have to seem like, you know, you're not like too hard, you know, like they don't like if you seem like you are a shut off type of individual. So that helps a lot. And then also I give them the floor to just kind of just be themselves. If they want to vent or talk about whatever, then they are definitely free to do that. And that goes back into the whole like energy transfer and like just getting drained, because even though you're not really saying too much or doing too much, they're dumping their stuff on you. And it's like, you know, it's only so much you can either give them or, you know, whatever. And you just have to kind of like still have that mask of like, all right, well, let's go, you know, whatever. And that really helps them a lot, because some I know for a fact that a lot of them, they just feel good talking. You know, they just want to get it off of their chest because they may not have that. So that helps a lot. Talking, having a likable personality, and just being yourself, really.
Yeah, so true. Because I've had people who come and especially if they're friends and they're together, they just be talking.
Yeah.
And I used to be. I still kind of am. I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
I'm always so focused on the work. Because I'm like, y'all got an hour. Let's go. Stop talking.
Yeah.
But there's certain days where I can just tell, especially if it's a specific client I know doesn't need to talk that much, but that day they're kind of talking more. I'm like, okay, she needs to get some shit off just so somebody can hear her. And you got to tone it down. Like, all right, today's workout's going to be a little more chill, but you obviously need something. And I think it's been a learning lesson for myself to get to that point.
Yeah.
But shit, sometimes,
There's an extent to it, though. You know, I feel like there are some who just kind of take advantage of Like, depending on what type of trainer you are, like, they'll just yap just because that's just who they are. And it's not about anything that's beneficial for either themselves or the situation. They just be talking.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to put your foot down and be like, all right, well, let's work. But otherwise, like you said, if it's a client that doesn't normally talk and they just start like spilling, then it's like, okay, all right, well, we'll dial it back a little bit for today. But other than that, some of them, they'll just like, take a mile and just run with it,
Oh, man, I had a client. I haven't trained her in some time, but boy, I would love to. When for clients first come in, I always ask them, like, how's your day? What'd you eat last night? How you feeling? This and that. And there was one client in particular, and boy, I would almost not regret asking the question, but they were just very long-winded to where the story they're trying to tell me goes from the warm-up all the way to 20 minutes in. And I'm like, girl, I'm over the story.
Well,
you know who you are.
Where's
Lorraine.
the end of it?
She know who she is. Shout out to Lorraine. Love you, girl.
Yeah.
But and sometimes I don't mind it, because sometimes the stories are good and my life is so, I'm not gonna say boring, but I'm pretty much work and home and gym.
Same.
So sometimes when I hear the stories and I hear the tea at work, I'm like, oh shit, really? Okay,
Yeah.
damn. I get a little invested. But I did notice too, some of the clients will try to talk me to distract me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, girl, I know what the fuck you doing.
Yeah.
Like,
You ain't slick.
relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you ever get from other men or trainers any like, how can I put this? Assumptions because you train attractive people or whatever they think, oh yeah, bro, I know you be, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, all the time.
Bro, that's the worst shit. I hate it.
It's even worse now that I'm doing stretching and massage.
That's why I asked about the comfortability because when I see that, that's not every boyfriend or whatever might be comfortable with that, or even girls who see that, like, what the fuck's he doing?
Yeah.
Because they can't separate the professional from just being horny.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny that I'm glad you brought this up because there's a video that's blowing up on my page right now.
Yeah.
And I was stretching this woman, and she has a fiance and everything. And it's either people who are unconscious.
Was it low?
No, her name is
it's not low, but
Brianna. No.
Okay, go ahead.
But she has a fiance. And it either boils down like in the comments of people being uncultured, or they are like they watch so much porn or something. Because it's like they'll see it and be like, "Yo, this is a body," like or like they be like, "This counts as like so many bodies," or "This is cheating," yada yada yada. And I'm like, it just really like opens opens my eyes to the fact that it's not a lot of practitioners practicing what I practice, or it's not a lot of exposure to it, because in like Thailand and all these other countries, they do this like every day, and it's like on the street, like you see this and it's a normal thing, and people see it and they confuse like an intimate practice with a sexual practice. Like it's intimate because like we're close, like it's body to body, I'm touching and stuff like that. But it's not a sexual thing because obviously it's not like sexual. You should be able to determine what's sexual and what's not. But like a lot of people, I would say more specifically the men, like they, say comments like, "Oh, this is my girl, I'll never let her do this," and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it comes down to the basic common thing of if you go to a massage parlor, 9 times out of 10, you are looking for a female massage therapist usually. Yeah. And same thing for most women. They would prefer a man because they can do, like, they are a little bit stronger. They can, do a little bit more. But I just think that's interesting that it can go like so many different negative ways, just based on like how it is, how it looks,
No, I honestly love that you do it, and it is different. I don't see no other people really doing that in the practice. Yeah. And it is very, I guess, like you were the word the word you said, intimate, because it is like some of the stretching, the positions, and but it's just people in the world, like I said, are just too horny. Yeah, especially
very perverted, bro.
Especially men. To me, I got to the point where I'm over. Like when people get in reply to my story to a certain client or something, I'm like, all right, bro, I'm gonna screenshot, send to baby mama.
For real, because you acting real childish.
Yeah,
in here.
because I honestly take my clients with so much love and like not call them my babies, but like they're my people. Like I see most of them 3-4 times a week. Yeah. So it's like for them, I don't want them to be objectified just because you feel she looks a certain way. It's like, bro,
she doing shoulder presses and you objectify her. Like, what's going on, bro?
That's somebody's mom,
sister,
wife,
whatever.
Whatever. And it's like, you got to stop. Like I said, just being so horny, man. It's like the male species these days, just too much horn. Yeah. Too much horn.
For real, way too much.
Because I know for me personally, I take it, like I started in group fitness at Orange Theory for a few years. Then I went to this private training. And that was one thing that that same kind of comments of thinking just because I'm training women that I'm fucking on them or doing this. And I'm like, bro, I take it so serious and professional because how I see it is women already have struggles with going to the gym.
Yes.
The reason why they don't go to the big gyms is because there's a creep there. There's a guy watching them. So the last thing I want to do as a coach with them by themselves,
creep on them,
and make them feel weird. I want them to feel safe, comfortable, to where they can get the results, look good, and go get them a man. And that's why I love training people who already have a dude or whatever, anything, so nobody gets the idea or anything. Because I'm like, I'm not one to mix business and pleasure at all. Like if that's what you're looking for, girl, you picked the wrong trainer.
Right. You wrong club, wrong facility.
I need my money first. Period. And yes, I'm glad you were able to talk about that a little bit because I'm sure you get the comments a lot, especially with your Instagram and everything. People are just
what I've just understood is it's just a projection at the end of the day. Like people are just projecting what they see in their mind or what they understand in their minds onto you. You know, because they are looking at everything sexually, they are thinking that you are also looking at everything sexually, and it's just a weird way to think. So it's definitely not a place for, like, if you're going to be a personal trainer or anything that regards like being close contact or proximity to another woman, then you probably shouldn't be pursuing that because you're not going to be able to control your damn self.
And it's so unfortunate because there are people out there in the fitness space or any kind of wellness space who do, I don't know if they use their title or their services
100%.
to get women, but they're out there. You know, there's trainers out there who, I don't want to say they use the training to purposely.
But it's the best, it's the next best thing they could have in their life to obtain or you get a woman, basically.
Yeah, because it's going to bring them to you. You know, they see you, they're hot, you're attractive, they want to come train with you, and then now you have your door in because you're talking to them every day, see them every day, and then now it's...
And it's also a very, I would say, a manipulative way to go about the practice because you know that those people are coming to you for a service that is supposed to help them get better. And so, if an attractive woman comes to you to say they want to do this, that, and the other, you hearing all this, but at the same time, you plotting on them. So it's it's a little wicked.
What's the word? FAN, but...
Stay that ass inside.
Yeah, stay that ass inside. Freaky ass boy. Stay your ass inside. For real. What's that pervert? Predator.
Predator, yeah.
Yeah, you preying on these women who are trying to spend their hard-earned money to get help, and you just FAN, freaky little boy.
Yeah.
What about with, I don't know your dating life or anything like that, but have you been in situations to where your services, anything played a part in it? Like a girl was kind of felt away or...
No, actually, before I moved to Vegas and me and my partner, we actually had a business in Memphis called Beauty and Beast. I was in there doing personal training. She was doing nails.
Nice.
And a lot of her clients would ask her, how do you feel about, your man training all these attractive women and stuff like that? She was like, well, I don't care. If they want them and, something ends up happening, they can have them. It's basically her stance was it's out of her control, basically. And it's up to me on what actually happens. And I'm glad that I've only had interactions with or serious interactions or relationships with women that was very nonchalant about that part because I have had women ask I could never, you could never be my man because you touching up all these women and blah, blah, blah. And it just goes to the skewed perspective of sexuality and intimacy and stuff like that. But they'd say stuff like that. I couldn't be with you because I wouldn't be able, I'm not mature or healed enough, whatever the case may be. But I'm it's my whole profession, you know, it's how I pay bills and stuff. So, it's just a little weird. And I guess it depends on the person and where they are mentally and emotionally. So
no, it's a level of maturity and self-security, I guess, because I've dated a girl and it was an issue to where I was
training other women was an issue.
But it was when this person met me, I was what I was doing. And then as time went on, and what made me mad was that it was only specific women. If it was a woman that
wasn't all women.
If it was a specific woman that looked a certain way or whatever, and she'd be like, well, is that what you like? Is that what you're doing? You're at work with a hard dick, this and that. And I looked at her, I was like, bro, these are women like you.
Yeah.
You're their age.
Yeah.
Do you want to be objectified that same way? You don't even know this girl. it was probably a bad idea to say this, but I was like, why don't you meet her? She's cool.
That was the wrong route.
But it was true though, because the girl,
No, I get it though.
The
I
girl she was
understand.
referring to was really a cool chick who like,
Yeah.
it's not her fault she looks the way she does.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you can't be judging her off that. Like, this girl is really chill person. That's probably a bad thing to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the issue, and it kept going on and on. I had to sit with myself, and I remember I asked them, I was like, all right, well, if I decide to stop doing this, are you going to take care of me?
Yeah. Like, for real. There is no other solution.
They said, yeah. I'm like, that's what I realized this is done, because I don't do this for finances.
Nah.
Obviously, I do it for work because, I mean, I do get paid for it.
No,
I
I
can't
get
do it
it.
for free, but this is something I enjoy doing. I'm not
Mhm.
going to just quit doing this and then you take care of me. Now what am I doing? I have
Yeah,
no
you're
purpose.
a house husband.
Yeah. And I was shocked when she had said that. And I was like, oh, yeah, girl, this is.
That's wild.
That was towards the end of everything.
I'll
And
take care of you.
Yeah.
Wow.
she didn't say like, yeah, hell yeah, but it was kind of like, I guess. I don't know. I'm like, oh, you got the wrong one, because
Yeah.
this ain't right.
Nah.
I'm like, these are
wrong
people,
guy.
these are literally like I said earlier, wives,
Uh-huh.
whatever. And I'm like, you just obviously insecure with yourself, where you're
Yeah.
at in your life.
Because it's way bigger than that. Like, these people are
100%.
dependent on us to help them improve their life, their bodies and stuff like that. We adding years onto their life, and it's way bigger than just looks, whatever. Like, it's
And another thing
bigger
is,
than that.
sometimes that's a sad thing about society, is that everything's so based off looks,
Mhm.
right? You see an attractive
Very
woman,
aesthetic.
whatever, you think something like, come get to know this girl, because as
Yeah.
fine as she is, you don't know that she is.
She cool as hell. You might like her. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, they might think just because she's fine, you might want them or something. I'm like, no, get to really know her. She's low-key toxic.
Yeah.
Like, she's low-key
You about to
toxic.
find out,
You
yeah.
might think so, but no. What was I going to ask you now? Yeah, I lost train of thought right there. I don't know. But,
Yeah.
damn, what was
I
it?
hate when that shit happens, man.
Yeah, because it was good, but I was talking about the toxic shit.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. It'll come back to you.
Yeah. So, that's what I was going to ask you. So with you,
Mhm.
I know you do train men also sometimes, or no?
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've trained a man,
That's how I feel
actually.
too.
Yeah.
Do you notice a difference of when you do train men and females, and do you have like a preference?
A difference in what exactly? Like the dynamic, or what? The relationship dynamic with the
Anything? Do you notice any differences when you're training them? I'll give you an example. Like for me, as I've been into it longer, I'll train men. I have nothing against them. I've trained like
Yeah,
friends or
same.
whatever. Like I don't mind it
Mhm.
if they come,
Yeah.
but I prefer the women's side of things. It's case by case. What I've noticed with men and women, when they come in and they don't know what to do, they're more worried about if they're doing it right,
Yes. Mhm.
as opposed to trying to come in and just go ham and lift heavy weights.
Yeah.
Men could be more ego.
Yeah.
So especially
Yeah.
if you get somebody who's an ex-athlete, hey bro, I used to bench whatever in high school.
Uh-huh.
My bro, that was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So you try to tell them what to do, they're kind of like,
It's hard for them to swallow
resistant.
that pill.
exactly. And I'm like, with women, you almost got to push them to want to lift the heavy weight.
Exactly.
Because every time I have somebody doing the
I
workout
don't
or
want to
anything,
look like a man.
yeah, that too. And they're like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Am I
Uh-huh.
doing it right?
Yeah.
Even though it's redundant, I'm like,
Yeah.
yes. I'd rather you ask,
Yeah.
because you care about the form and all that, as
Yes.
opposed to you want to come in and just throw around some heavy ass weights to get hurt.
Uh-huh.
So I know for me personally, that's why I noticed with a difference in training men and women. But yeah, that's why I was asking that, if you notice anything.
Yeah, definitely that part of it. They definitely are more dialed in when it comes to what things are supposed to look like with the exercises and stuff like that. The men I have trained are kind of, I would say, yeah, it's ego based. You know, I would tell them like they will need to dial it back to a certain degree in order to be more efficient in a certain lift or something like that. And I think the longest male client I've had was maybe a month or so.
Wow.
But, and you know, it's kind of weird. I think it's the same thing. Like if you look good, bro, it's going to be like a little funky with getting male clients for whatever reason. I don't know what it is, but it could be just an ego thing. Like, oh, I'm a man. I know what to do. Blah,
I
blah,
think
blah.
that's what it is.
I don't know. But yeah, I probably have had maybe about 2 handful of male clients since I've been a personal trainer. And yeah, I definitely I wouldn't mind more male clients, because I know I could push them a lot harder. And when it comes to weight, throw it on there if they can handle it. And, you know, that wouldn't be a problem. But as far as the women go, like I know they are very adamant about their looks when it comes to certain goals, losing weight. They're very adamant about that. And helping them remain disciplined to their goal is usually pretty a seamless process. You know, it's pretty much just a script that, you know, you have to follow and, you know, help them become accustomed to a certain new style of living, no matter what it is. So it depends. Yeah.
And for you, when you do get the women you mentioned earlier, when they say, I don't want to get bulky, I don't want to look manly or anything like that, how do you handle those situations, or what do you kind of try to help them, tell them to change that perspective?
Yeah. I get that a lot. It's pretty much, I just break it down to them that just because like heavy is subjective. Like I think when they think heavy, they think like what we throw around, like 100-pound weights and stuff like that. Like obviously, first of all, let's talk about getting up to the strength to be able to lift some heavy weight. Let's talk about that, because you first have to be able to lift a certain amount of weight in order to gain a certain amount of muscle. And then they say it like it's just going to like pop up on their bodies one morning, and it's just like, oh, I'm bulky now because I lifted, you know, heavy yesterday. But it takes years to build the type of muscle they don't want to pop up on them. And I just let them know, like, it's going to take a long time for that to happen. And heavy to you could be like 10 pounds, depending on what we're doing. And we're not going for like that goal. Like we're not going for the goal of mass. You know, we're just going for a certain stimulus that is going to help your body break down the muscle and things like that. And we're not going to go too crazy with it. And you don't have to at least ever worry about it anytime soon. You know, it's just, I think it's just a little bit out of touch, out of context when they, you know, have that type of mindset.
No, yeah, I think a lot of it is the conditioned mind of years ago.
Yeah.
Of what we were told and taught, you know, because back in the day, it's all this cardio and this and that and you lift weights. Because I always tell people when they come to me with that, I'm like, listen, I know women who are bodybuilders. I mean, from physique to bikini to wellness, whatever. Go ask them how long they've been doing it.
Yeah,
exactly. How hard, how often they lift, how much they eat. They are intentionally trying to do it, and it still takes them.
It takes them a long ass time.
Months, if not years, to put on the size.
Yes.
So I'm like, you lifting 3 times a week and eating X amount, you're gonna be okay.
You're gonna
be okay.
Yeah.
So ladies, do not be scared of weights. They're gonna help you be strong, look good. You are not gonna get bulky unless you really try to. Like you have to really try, and even then, it's gonna take months, if not years, of that.
Yeah.
Get your ass in there, lift weights. Stop being
and
scary.
It's even more important for women to do it because as they get older, as you guys get older, your bone density becomes like a lot weaker. It lowers. So the more weights that you lift, the stronger your bones become as you get older. So you don't want to, you know, potentially have that be a problem for you down the line. So lift them heavy weights.
Period.
Lift them heavy weights.
Now with the content, because like I said, I can't scroll without at least seeing yours once a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it pops up somehow, or I have a group with my clients on Instagram. They'll share one.
Nice.
So with the content, at what point did you start like realizing I want to do this? You know, because you might have, also what you shared the other day, you took a screenshot of like, I don't know how long ago it was, but you had like 1,000 followers.
On my that was my business page, my massage therapy page.
Oh, it's current.
Yeah.
I took it wrong. I thought you were showing like
where I came from.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh shit, 1,000. Now it's at fucking 85, 90. Oh, okay, my bad.
So no, that was I posted that because I made that page like some months ago, and it's been gradually building up followers. So it just had hit 1,000 like some days ago, and I just posted that.
That's fucking good.
Wait, what was the question about?
So like with your content you've been doing, at what point did you like realize I want to start? I'm gonna be doing this.
Yeah, because at first I was doing just fitness content, and I was doing all my crazy stuff.
Yeah, I seen your old videos when you were like flipping over shit and
doing flying push-ups and all that stuff. So I was mainly posting that, and I got a lot of fulfillment from it at the time because I was really doing it to not just because I liked it, but also because I knew it would draw a lot of traction to my page and that would be good for business and stuff like that. But there was also another side of me where I was like, there's still something more I want to do. I just don't know what it is yet. And I remember, I think it was the end of 2019, or actually it was 2021. I made a video of me like dancing in the kitchen or something like that. And I put it up and it got like a lot of traction. And I was like, and I asked them, I was like, y'all want to see more content like this? And it was easy for me to do because that was just me being myself. It was being goofy. And so once that started to, get a lot of positive feedback, I was like, okay, well, I started to get these ideas, these funny ideas of my training experiences. And I was like, well, I think I could like make these into videos. And I just started like, just throwing it out there every now and then. Some would do really well, some wouldn't. But either way, I just enjoyed doing it because it was like I was fulfilling the kind of desire to want to act and, dive into that and express myself in different ways and stuff like that. But then also share my experiences with other coaches and trainers that also go through the same thing with their clients, and they can relate to it. And once I realized it was something that like people liked in the same bracket as me, it's like, yeah, I think this is definitely like the way I'm gonna go. So I just, it's really wild now that I'm saying it out loud because it's been since I started consistently, maybe about 4, almost 5 years. And I just like get these ideas that just roll on me. And I've just been like, pumping them out. So it's been going good ever since. Yeah.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's, I didn't know the whole backstory of it. Like you kind of getting your acting out of it in a sense.
Yeah.
Because you want to act. So it kind of helps you get your, I guess, fix in a sense.
Yeah.
And from what it sounds very authentic. Like you said, it's you because, which I'm sure you see, there's people who see one person do it and they'll kind of just take it and kind of redo it in their own way, but it's literally the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then it's like, you can kind of tell with people who are trying to, I guess, too hard or they're trying to go viral.
Yeah.
As opposed to just being them and showing whatever.
And
I'd
I'd
be
see
like,
that. People peep that. Yeah.
Yeah, people peep it.
Yeah.
You think they don't, but you do. Cause I'm like, bro, I just saw Greg do that last week. Like you're doing the exact same thing.
That was one of my main motivators. Like once I realized like it was going to be a consistent thing, it's like, I'm not going to like be one of those people who just take somebody else's idea and you like put a little twist on it or whatever. Like I think since I've started, I've used close to 2 handful of like people's ideas that I like took and put my own spin on it or just recreate it. But 9 times out of 10, I'm thinking of a way that I can create some type of funny content that is literally my original idea. Yeah. And I think that has I know that has helped with bringing as much like traction and, love to my page because people can see that, like you said, it's authentic and I'm not like trying too hard. And also there's like, there's a group of people who do their content and the lip syncing or the acting is just like absolutely terrible. Like it's just the lip syncing is like, did you even try?
Yeah.
Or the acting is just like, wow, so I really pride myself on like making sure the lip syncing is on point. The acting is on like expressions and everything. So that's really like one of my main things that I focus on.
Do you have a YouTube page?
I did, but I like fell off from it. I gotta get back. I know, man. I gotta get back on it.
All the following you have and everything.
I know. I'm gonna get back on it, bro. I know.
You're gonna have to do it this weekend. Upload it. When I send you this clip, you can clip parts of it and put it. But if you literally post all those reels on shorts,
yeah,
bro, that's monetization right there.
Yeah, you're right.
Easily.
Yeah. I know.
Oh, because I'm sure somebody's probably you can remix people's shit. Somebody's probably taking your shit and put it on there already.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'm gonna get on that.
2025 YouTube.
Yeah, it was going up because I started it in 2020 a YouTube, and I was like kind of starting fresh because that was another YouTube channel I had where I was just uploading like different. I uploaded like the whole progress of me doing an insanity thing in my family. And then I was uploading like skits. I was doing skits at the time and raps and stuff like that. And then I just wanted to have a fresh start. And I just kind of like let that YouTube channel like doing the way like once things that were kind of getting out of whack with life and stuff like that. I just kind of like, because I have I fight these demons of like, if it's not perfect, then I won't do it. And I'm still getting out of that like type of mentality where everything has to be right. Like I literally just need to do it.
Yeah.
And as time goes on and as I experience things and learn things, trial and error, whatever, then I can improve on it and make a change. So that's been the main thing that's been like holding me back, because it's like, if I get back into it, I want to have the right camera. I want to have the right, all this other things. And it's just like, just use your fucking iPhone,
100%,
like,
bro.
So I'm gonna get on that shit.
I'm the same way with content, stuff like that. I've gotten better over the past 6 months. When I started this podcast, this gave me more, I guess, inspiration to want to do more. Obviously, the phone quality, my camera phone quality, same as this, but I'm like, either way, I got to get it out there. Yeah. And for myself, I mean, I've been able, personally, I feel like I've been posting way more content, which I like, because before I wasn't posting shit, bro. I just wasn't. And I'm like, can't expect to grow if you're not posting. Yeah. There's too many people out there doing what I do, to where if I ain't posting, they ain't gonna see me.
Nope.
And the way the algorithm goes, I can post every day for the next week, and you probably still won't see my shit as a follower just because algorithm.
Yep.
And are you on TikTok too or no?
Shit, I was. I fucked up.
You're dropping the bag right now.
No, I mean, like, I deleted the app.
Oh, get it back.
I can't. You know, they banned it.
What do you mean? I have it. I'm on
I
it.
know, but if you
delete it, you can't get it back?
Yes, bro.
That's why people are saying that.
I fucked up.
I seen people say I got an iPhone with TikTok.
Yeah, and I got it on my old phone, but it's like this cracked ass iPhone 6, so I can't really even do shit with it. But yeah, if you delete it, that's it. Unless they said they are gonna keep updates on whether or not they bring it back to the App Store. But like TikTok and this editing app I was using, CapCut. Fucking gone, bro. Cause my damn impulsive ass, I saw it, and when they said it wasn't available anymore, I was like, well, get the fuck off my phone then. Yeah. You know?
Have you tried going online?
Like using it
Laptop?
On a browser or something like that? No, I haven't tried that.
Maybe try that, see if it lets you. If it does, damn, that's a lot of money right there.
I know. Like I had a pretty good follow, maybe like 29K on there.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro. Yeah, I fucked up.
Because I know people who some of my friends, they have a little following and they get paid to post certain shit, like certain product or whatever. So I was like, damn, I need to get my shit up.
Yeah.
So I'm only at 1,000. I barely started using it maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I started posting on there. And I Googled it, and it's like you have to get up at least 10,000
like
followers or 100,000 likes to start being able to get monetized. So I'm like, fuck. So now.
And really, bro, it's just about, like on TikTok, same way it happened to me on Instagram. I was like posting. They were doing like hundreds, maybe 1,000 here or whatever. And then one day the algorithm just decides to choose you, and you like, like today's your day to shine. Bro, and you got all these followers and views, and then it's just up from there. And then from that point on, I think I had one of my videos blow up on TikTok, and then all my videos thereafter started doing good. And I remember on Instagram, there was a video I posted like a few years ago that started to get millions. And then all the other ones after that started to do really well.
Oh, shit.
So it's just like, before then, like I said, it was just my passion of wanting to actually do the whole process of acting and do the content ideas and bring them to life that had me being consistent. Because otherwise, like if I specifically depended on like views and interactions and engagement to, help me be consistent, then I would have gave up a long time ago, But it literally took, like once I decided to start being consistent with the posting, it took maybe about 2 years before it started to blow up.
You hear that?
Yep.
I want y'all to hear that. Go look at his Instagram. You've seen he has a bunch of followers. He's killing it on it. He just said 2 years of consistent posting before he started to blow up. And he didn't care about the likes. He didn't care about the engagement. He didn't care about the views. All he cared about was the consistency. So take that message. If anything, I'm taking the message for sure, because not too long ago, I switched my mindset. I don't even care. I don't even look at the views no more or anything. I'm like, I just need the habit of just posting it.
Just post that
another thing you said that was funny is that TikTok just chooses you. Because I wasn't using TikTok at all. I had like 300 followers. But one day I was posting clips from this podcast, and one of the clips out of nowhere, it was talking about me and my sobriety. It just started going and going and going. And then I gained like a fucking 1,000 followers in a short period. And the video went to like 70,000 views. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
They just chose me that day.
Yeah, you're the one.
So ever since, I've been trying to be more consistent on TikTok with posting also, because I want to get to that point where I can monetize. So with your content creation, how do you create, in the sense of, do you have a day to where you sit and batch?
Yeah.
And take me a little bit through your creative process of
content. It should be one or a couple days where you do a few different ideas. Ideally, I would like to have one day. Usually for me, it's like on a Saturday or something like that. But nowadays, if I have a gap, I'll just use that time to I have my ideas written down either in my phone or on a notepad or something like that. And then I have the audio saved and everything. And so that way I already have like the idea already like planned out and, in my head. So that way when it's time for me to create the content, I could just pump them out real quick. So I usually do between like 2 to 4 within a day. And especially for days where you don't feel like creating, that's going to really come in handy, because it's going to be days where you feel burnt out. It's going to be days where you don't feel like, trying to think of a different idea or even look and scroll down to take somebody else's idea. You probably ain't gonna feel like doing that either. So it's always good to do at least a few at a time when you do have the time, so that, they can start to stack up on top of each other. And ideally, that's what you should try to aim for, is having like a certain batch of content already like in the arsenal, and just keep stacking up, because that way you always have something ready, so.
And do you, once you have your batches out, do you as soon as you create it, you post it, or do you kind of set it up, schedule it? Do you wait?
Sometimes I do. Like I will have like days where if let's say I'm tight on time, I'll create the video and then I post it immediately. Or if I have a day where I can create 2 to 3 videos, I'll just post one of those, and then the next day, if I have time, I'll try to stack on top of those, make another couple, and then I'll just post one that I already created. So the idea is to just continuously try to, stay ahead of yourself, and so that you don't like get behind, because you feel more in control that way too. Like if you like tomorrow, you don't have anything in the drafts, you don't have any ideas, you get to tomorrow, it's like, all right, now it's time to think of something. And you only got a certain amount of time. Now you just spent 30 minutes thinking of an idea, looking for an idea, and you only got 20 minutes to, record what you need to record. And, if you're a perfectionist, if it's not the right way, you probably only get that one video done. So that's how it usually goes for me. Like if it's a lip sync video, I'll fucking have like 10 takes on a 15-second video because I want the lips to be perfect, the expressions to be perfect. So definitely want to be ahead of the game, write your ideas down and stuff like that, and that way you are to be ready.
That's part of the reason why I decided to do podcasts too, because I heard Gary Vee talk about how he does his podcast, and he's like, you think I'm doing the podcast for the podcast? I'm doing it for the content.
Yeah.
I'm doing mine for the podcast, but also with the content. Like this hour-long conversation, I'll easily be able to have minimum 6 clips.
Yeah.
And that's just minimum. On top of, I could probably get like 15 clips, whether it's me saying something, you saying something. So that way, in my archives, I have something to fucking post.
Yeah.
Because I still got clips from like 2-3 episodes later. Sometimes I'll forget what we talked about, but then I'll go back to the episode. Oh shit, I need to clip that.
Yeah.
Even though it's been some time. Another question with the content is: do you have any strategy in the sense of how was I gonna say this? What type of content? Or does it just whenever it comes, you're like, I'm gonna do a fitness one today, I'm gonna do a funny one today?
I do have a I guess you could say a flow to how I post the content. So right now, I'm doing 2 funny videos, and then the third one will be a like stretch or massage video, and that way it looks kind of aesthetic on my page too, so that all the massage and stretch videos are lined up with each other and everything like that. But if it's not a funny video, I'll replace the second funny video with a fitness video, or with a some other niche that I have, like plants or something like that. And I would just kind of like have that on a rotation. But usually I always know that I'll have like some type of funny idea in the tank. And that way I can just kind of keep that sort of flow going. But also I will say that has kind of like made me a little hesitant sometimes, because I want to stay so true to that routine that I don't post, or that I don't like do what I need to do or whatever. Like I'll have like the 2 funny videos posted, then a massage video, and then like let's say I don't have some videos created already, and so I just like wait, and then I got one like 2 days later, and then I post, instead of just just posting the content, some type of content, and then just keeping myself in the algorithm, because that's pretty much all they're looking for, is for you to just be in the algorithm constantly, make a post a day. Sometimes if it's a good day, I'll make a funny post, and then I'll add the stretch or massage video in the same day, because it's 2 different niches, and it'll be in 2 different like scales of the algorithm. Like it'll go towards the fitness people, and then it'll go towards like the people that's looking for self-care and stuff like that. That way I'm getting exposed to like 2 different types of audiences and stuff. So
that's fucking smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm the same way sometimes. I think I want to make the aesthetic look a certain way, whatever, but then I'm like, you know what? I got into a point where I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to post. When I have an idea or whatever,
you just got to do
just do it, especially with my podcast, because I have the podcast, and I got fitness, and I got motivation. I'm like, I'm just going to throw it out there, and eventually, at some point, I'll get more narrowed, I guess, or niche. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll wrap up here in a second. Anything you got going on, coming up, want to promote? Any events, any services, or...
Well, my services...
let us know what your services are.
So all of my services are personal training, massage therapy, and stretch therapy. You can book a service through the link that is in my bio on my IG, which is That's Greg Savage. It's pretty straightforward. You can look through and see what you want, as far as like scraping, cupping, hot stones, all that. I do all of that. And I am planning on doing sort of like a international tour of my stretching services at a certain point, but I haven't planned it out just yet, but that will be coming soon. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fire. Go on
Yeah.
tour. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get paid to be at places, man. You need to go
Yeah.
out the country and do it.
Hell yeah.
That was one of my goals, is trying to figure out how I can go to other countries and do group fitness in other places.
Yeah.
Like I would love to get hired to go to Costa Rica for like a month or something.
Yeah, and that comes also with the posting consistently and having your own
Right.
niche and style and stuff like that.
Bro, you know what's the underdog of posts?
What's that?
Hashtags.
Oh yeah, I do that in all my posts.
I got
All my posts.
I got asked to do a group fitness workout for this National Women's Black Lawyers, Black attorneys. Every year they have a convention that was here in Vegas. The lady reached out to me and I was like, how'd you find me? And she was like, hashtags.
Yes.
And I was like, say less. I made a good amount of money in 3 days. I was like, shit.
I've had quite a few people like that have come to me for training that said, I just hashtag Las Vegas training.
Yeah, same.
And I found you. And I was like, shit, all right, I'm gonna keep doing that.
Same shit. As we finish up here, what's a quote you live by and why?
Damn, I had it in my head. Basically just show up for yourself, because progress is still progress. Small progress is still progress, basically. Because like I said, I'm pretty big on making everything the right way or doing it at the right time. But showing up for yourself can look a lot of different ways, and it could be big, it could be small. But as long as you do something that caters towards your goal or yourself, that makes you feel content, that makes you feel fulfilled, then you have, a win is a win, basically. So just make some type of progress, big or small, every day. Show up for yourself, and pretty much whatever you're doing, you can apply that to that, and you'll be all right.
That's fire, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for making time, showing up,
Thank you
man,
for
sharing your
inviting me.
story,
Yeah.
opening up. I will tag Greg's business page, the massage and stretch page. I'll share his Instagram in the description of this podcast episode. Make sure you subscribe. I'm gonna start saying that now. Subscribe, like, comment, share with somebody who needs to hear about fitness. And I'll leave you with the word, kind of to what he said. Show up for yourself. Your 100% is going to look different every day.
Yep.
But what should remain the same is your effort.
Facts.
Consistency over perfection.
Facts.
2 words. Keep growing.
Let's